At 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight in New London, where 11 days after the steeple toppled at the historic First Congregational Church, we're learning more about the collapse from someone who was in the building when it happened. Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Along with the firsthand testimony, we're seeing pictures from inside the church. You're looking at images snapped by that woman, a church employee. And she didn't even realize what had happened until she left the building.
Now, that woman spoke to Fox 61's Jake Garcia and talked extensively about that day, one she says she will not soon forget. Jake joins us now in studio with her story. Jake?
Well, Brent and Sarah, Teresa Times is the church administrator at Engaging Heaven Church. She was in her office just a few feet away from the sanctuary when the steeple collapsed nearly 2 weeks ago. She says it took her a while to grasp exactly what happened on that Thursday afternoon.
So it was a normal Thursday afternoon for me. I was doing the bank deposit and I was getting ready to go home a little early.
Teresa Times recounting the moment the steeple collapsed at the historic First Congregational Church in New London. She was inside the church in her office and all she heard was a whooshing sound.
So best way to describe it is that it was like when it snows and the next day the snow falls off the roof and it just goes whoosh. And I was like, oh. Okay, well, there was a windstorm. All right. Didn't think anything of it. Continued my afternoon.
A few moments later, she says she noticed people gathering outside her window.
And everyone was like, get out of the building. The building's falling down. And I was like, okay, guys, you're being dramatic. It's not falling down. Because I saw some tiles on the ground and I saw like 2 wooden like sticks or planks. And so I thought in my head, oh, I got a hole. All right, I'm going to call the guys who helped me and we're going to put up a blue tarp because I have a hole.
It was then Times opened the door from her office to walk into the sanctuary.
And I opened the door and I was like, oh, okay, this is bigger than a blue tarp hole.
Times sharing these pictures with Fox 61 showing the debris from just after the collapse. Rubble and wood scattered in the sanctuary of Engaging Heaven Church. Chairs knocked over and covered in dust from the fallen granite exterior. She said it wasn't until first responders arrived to evacuate the building that she got a better understanding of what happened.
And then they took me to the front, and then that was when I saw the whole extensive of that, like, there is nothing there.
Times says she believes she was being protected by a higher presence up above.
And it was like I was in the cleft of the rocks with the Lord. Quite literally, that is my office right there. That wall that is still standing, that stone portion, I see that. That is the wall I look at in my office on a daily basis.
She says it's not lost on her what could have happened and says she sees this as a miracle.
Had things gone awry, more so, I may not be here.
Times also told me that her first thought wasn't about how they would clean up or even where they would hold services, but where they would feed breakfast to the people in need like they do every weekday. This Sunday, the church will hold services at the Port and Starboard Banquet Gallery at Ocean Beach Park. The cause of the collapse remains under investigation. Live in studio, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. That is not how I expected that interview to sound. She heard a whoosh like snow falling off the roof.
I didn't know that she just kept going about her day and thought that she just needed a tarp.
You would have thought it'd be a huge, loud noise, but I guess not. And
that's
Teresa,
incredible.
We're glad you're okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, time for now our first check on the forecast, and we've got a lot of sunshine to look forward to this week.
I love to hear it, but will the temperatures go up with it? Here's Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, last week we were stuck in this cloudy weather pattern. This week we are stuck with sunshine, and we do have a warming trend to go along with it. 32 degrees right now in the Hartford area. Today was above average, and that'll be the trend all week. 34 in New Haven, and temperatures are in the upper 20s for Windham and also for Putnam as well. There is an offshore storm that will certainly stay offshore. Some of these clouds might end up brushing parts of eastern Connecticut here off and on through the course of the next couple of days, but for most of us, we are nice and bright here moving moving forward. Overnight lows will dip back into the 20s as we head towards daybreak, and we are waking up to what has now been a familiar sight since this weekend. Lots of sunshine. Grab your sunglasses on your way out the door. We'll start in the 20s as we head towards lunchtime. We're looking at temperatures in the mid-30s, and we'll see high temperatures up around the 40-degree mark as we head through tomorrow afternoon. And the numbers only go up from here. Wait until you see how impressive they are. On Saturday, we could approach the daily record high temperature. We'll take a closer look, and the next chance for some rain coming up.
Anxious to hear that, Rachel. Thank you. We have an update tonight on a deadly shooting in West Haven. Police have arrested Eric Johnson in connection to the murder of Hector Dominguez. Police say Dominguez was shot early Sunday morning in the area of York Street and Campbell Avenue. It's not clear what led to that shooting. Johnson now faces murder charges and is being held on $2 million bond.
Difficult news to share out of Beacon Falls. 2 young children are dead in a serious crash on Route 8. This happened just after 3 yesterday afternoon. State police tell Fox 61 a Honda Civic and a pickup truck collided near exit 23. The 2 children were 6 and 3 years old, sitting in the back of the Civic. The driver of that car, along with another passenger, were seriously hurt. We're waiting for an update on their condition. The driver of the pickup was also hospitalized, but he's expected to be okay.
We are still waiting tonight to learn more details about a deadly shooting involving a police officer. It happened last night in Ansonia, but the incident started in Bridgeport. And that's where police say they tried to stop a driver around 5 o'clock. They say that driver sped away on Route 8 North, stopping along Division Street in Ansonia. And there, investigators say a Bridgeport police officer opened fire, ultimately killing the driver. Other details, like the names of those involved, have not been released. The Office of the Inspector General has taken over the investigation. The officer who pulled the trigger has been placed on modified duty until that investigation is complete. More than 2 weeks into the trial of Michelle Troconis, and once again, prosecutors are presenting more DNA evidence in the investigation into the presumed murder of Jennifer Dulos.
Yeah, this time confirming the blood found on certain items were in fact a match to Jennifer's DNA, and in some cases there were matches to other people's DNA. Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc has a breakdown from court.
Match after match.
At least 100 billion times more likely to occur if it originated from the source of the DNA profile from the swabbing of the electric toothbrush.
Forensic scientist Kristen Maydell went through dozens of pieces of evidence she compared to different sources of DNA, one of them coming from the toothbrush of Jennifer Farber Dulos.
The toothbrush is really the person we know to be Jennifer Dulos.
Correct, yes.
Several of the samples were a match to Jennifer's DNA, like the blood found on a bra and t-shirt, both stuffed in garbage bags in Hartford the day she disappeared. Bags police say her estranged husband, Fotis Dulos, got rid of, with his then-girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, in the passenger seat. In a few scenarios, Maydell says Fotis's DNA was found on that evidence.
At least 100 billion times more likely to occur if it originated from Fotis Dulos.
And on one of the garbage bags, Maydell says they found a match to Troconis' DNA.
The DNA profile from item 883S7 is at least 780,000 times more likely to occur if it originated from Michelle Troconis.
When Maydell ran the test a second time to a newer sample given by Troconis in 2023, that number decreased. Still, prosecutors making this connection.
The defendant in her third interview with police indicated to them that she held a bag open for Mr. Dulos as he deposited something in the bag. Is it possible that her DNA could have gotten on the bag as she was holding it?
Yes, that's possible.
Troconis' defense attorney, John Schoenhorn, pointing out that we're talking about DNA that is equivalent to 3 human skin cells.
Michelle was in a truck with her boyfriend. The fact that 3 or even 10 cells could have gotten on him when he got out and threw away those bags does not even suggest that she ever touched those bags.
Now, Maydell says there was also a human hair found on a sponge in one of those garbage bags, coming up as a match to Pavel Gumiani, who is one of FOTUS's employees. Now, it was a mitochondrial match, however, which means that it could have been Pavel's hairs or one of his maternal family members. We are in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
New at 10, labor and delivery services cannot close at Sharon Hospital. That's per officials with the Office of Health Strategy, who ruled against owner Nuvance Health today. And they say the hospital system did not meet the proper criteria to stop services. The proposal was first brought in 2021, and it got instant backlash from the community. The next closest birthing center is at least a 40-minute drive. There's been no comment from the hospital system on the ruling tonight.
Mayor Justin Elicker delivered his State of the City address tonight. His speech tackled a wide range of topics, everything from the need for more affordable housing to support a growing population to the Elm City's changing image as a tourist destination. But the Democrats' big focus tonight was looking on the horizon, imagining New Haven a decade from now during its 250th anniversary.
In what type of city do we want to live in 2034? In what type of city do we want our children to live and inherit? Where do we want to make our biggest investments? What do we want to be known for?
Also in attendance tonight, a large group of protesters calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. They began chanting toward the end of Elicker's speech, demanding a public hearing. Police were eventually called. It's not clear if Elicker met with them afterward.
And from one community to all 169 towns and cities making up the great state of Connecticut, Wednesday, Governor Ned Lamont's delivering his annual State of the State address. It's expected to start at noon. Lawmakers will then convene for the start of the legislative session. Connecticut's news station will have live coverage from the state capitol and analysis after the governor's address.